Tell me something. How much do you value speech? When you have a brain injury, poof, your speech goes. Well, not yours, mine. My speech, poof. And so if this is something that resonates with y'all, stick around and listen to this little discussion here. Welcome to my channel. My name is Astra, and this is Astra's Brain Injury. To all my subscribers and non-subscribers, welcome. Hopefully after this, my non-subscribers will be like, ooh, I need to subscribe to this lady. So just to give you a little backdrop for those of y'all that is new, my first MVA was in November of 2014. It was catastrophic. Y'all, we should have been not here, but we are. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for that. Now, the thing is, y'all, I'm trying to think of where to begin with this. Now, I was very articulate, very good communicator. I was able to hold it down. And when this brain injury began, outside of memory issues, hearing issues, vision issues, balance issues, and all that kind of a thing, my speech was not working with me. Disconnect from my brain to my mouth. And being articulate with your words, your language, and your style and everything like this, it's hard to all of a sudden now you begin to stutter. And you stutter, well, not you, I I stuttered on, it didn't matter what the word was. I would repeat something. It's like my brains was stuck in a glitch. And I would repeat words like 3 times. So say, for instance, I'm saying I will go. I would say I, or will, go. So I began to stutter. And I remember when I went to the brain injury clinic, and they thought that I was a stutterer. I'm like, no, I never stuttered before in my life. I was not a stutterer, y'all. And the brain injury flipped that part in my brains from my language and my speech, and it changed. Even in my journaling, like when I would look back on my journaling, and this is another thing I would strongly advise y'all. Keep a journal. Keep a journal, whether you do it weekly, daily, every 2 days or something. But keep a journal, because when you go back and you look and you see, what? This is what I was doing, or you know what? I've come so far, or I've made some progress from where I once was. So even in my journaling, I found that I was even in that glitch where I would be stuttering even in my typing. So I would see that I have the word repeated 3 times, and this is how my brains was. So it was like I was in a glitch, and it was not something that I was even aware of. At first, I was not aware of it, because are you really paying attention to what you're hearing? And then I make reference to things comes into my ears, and then it goes into the black hole. So poof, it's gone. I do not have control of, okay, I'm hearing this, and my mind is keeping accurate record of everything chronologically going. No, my brains was, ooh, let's have some hopscotch and skippity scop and all kind of different things. So this is how my brains was doing. So same thing with my brains is same thing with my speech. And from the brain injury clinic, they got me into the CAR program at the hospital. And from the CAR program, I got in to see a speech pathologist. And I did group speech as well as individual speech. And y'all, it was very trying. I could tell you that. It's like my brains needed to be retrained. Okay, Astra, this is what you need to be doing. You may want to do that, but this is what you need to do. And so my brains needed to be retrained, and so my speech needed to be retrained. So what was in my brains could be able to come out of my mouth in a nice flow, not coming out of my mouth and going, okay, you can go. You know, it had to come out of my mouth and all right, now let's go like this, right? So it was a lot for me. It really was a lot. And when I had group therapy, and I wasn't the only one. This is another thing. When you have a brain injury, when one has a brain injury, and nobody else around you has a brain injury, and so, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, it's a lot of things. And as I said, my brains needed to get that connection back so that I would stop with the stuttering. I don't stutter now. There's some things might get tripped up in my mouth, but the stuttering that I used to do, I'm not stuttering in that sense, but I still do, say for instance, someone's saying, okay, we have to leave at 12:30. I might say it once and I'm going to come back because it's like I'm not remembering that I just said this. So I'll come back again and say, you know, we have to leave at 12:30. And, you know, my family's going to be like, okay. And I'll come back again a third time. I don't know what it is about 3 times, but this is how my brains was. And it still is at times where I would come back again and say, you know, we need to leave at 12:30. And they're like, Astra, you said that to us already 3 times now. I'm like, what? Really? For real? So, you know, it still happens. I can tell you this, but it's not happening the way that it did when I first got my brain injury. And so, you know, all I would relate to y'all, keep a journal so that you can see your progress and you can be like, ooh, I made me some progress. Because if you don't have a record, how will you ever know how far you've come? And so having that journaling, it helped me to know how far I've come. And I'm happy with my progress. You know, I'm not where I was before my brain injury, like pre-brain injury. I'm not there. But I'm happy with where I am, where I've come from in my brain injury. So I would just encourage all y'all, as I keep saying, journal, 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 journal. It may seem like you're complaining, because for me, it did. I felt like I was complaining. Believe that. I felt like I was complaining every time I would write down, I was able to walk 2 steps today. without feeling lightheaded, or I was able to sit down and was able to get up, still holding on. Just all these little things I put in, because if I never did this, I wouldn't be able to come back now and make these videos with y'all, because as I've said before, I'm sure I have years of journaling, So I would encourage y'all to journal so that you can see, ooh, my speech has changed. I see that I'm not stuttering 3 times, or my brains is glitching 3 times, but my brains might be glitching twice. So it's come down from 3 to 2. So, that's something there that can be of a positive to y'all. So let me know, let me know if this has happened to you. Did you find that you were not a stutterer, but you became a stutterer? Are you still a stutterer now? Or do you find that the stuttering is gone, but there's still some echoes of, something else that may be still present? Let me know. I'm just curious. Let me know. So with that, I shall take my leave now, y'all. And I'll definitely see you in the next video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I make these videos. And so with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care. All right. Bye.